what was his name? Dennis
the Beermeister.
Yeah, he worked above the guy that did our banners. Great guys, man. Both those guys, solid dude. One's a retired fireman. Does a lot of good textile stuff in the banners and things. But yeah, man, he doubled. He had to give up the embroidery thing. Dennis did. And he went to work for Census Bureau or something. And then, like I said, I was at a Judas Priest concert, and he was serving draft beer.
Hey, buddy,
yeah. That's
Each
my guy,
own, right? Yeah,
yeah.
Roll it.
You got an embroidery guy. I got a guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I got all
He's the draft beer guy at the Riverbend Music Center. So. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of On the Range Podcast with War HOGG Tactical and Kelly Defense. I am Mark Kelly, and as always, I'm with my friend and co-host, Rick Hogg from War HOGG Tactical. How's it going, buddy?
Man, Mark, it is going great, especially doing an episode with you. But really, I need to thank the viewers, listeners out there for giving us your most precious commodity, your time tuning in to listen to the show. So here's the deal, guys. Do us a big, huge favor. You like what you hear, and tell your friends and family, tell your kids. Anyone's got a device that can press that magical subscribe button, like button, have them smash that thing, leave us a rating review. I don't care if it's thumbs up emojis, just something to get this algorithm going, man, just so we can get better reach out there. I know you guys love what you're hearing because we're in the top 2.5% of all podcasts globally. We couldn't do it without you, so appreciate your support. Guys, if you also want to support the show and catch early access to all the episodes, whether it's On the Range, Vantage Point, Words of Wisdom, inside training tips, scoops, Zoom calls with me and Mark, check it out. Super easy. Patreon.com/On the Range podcast. Go in there, check it out, help support the show. And oh, by the way, we're going to start pumping that thing with some massive content. So it'll be kind of that training hub too, where you can go there and check some stuff out. Yeah. You know, on that note, you know, a couple other, since we're kind of slapping some other things out there. So check it out. New Panteo production War HOGG Tactical law enforcement pistol training class or instructional video is out. You might see Mark in there as well, making some cameos. Great training event we did with Vertex, but really I want to pass a couple more codes on to you guys. So I'm going to pass you two more. Next one is War HOGG 30. That will save you 30% on an annual subscription to Panteo Productions. So again, War HOGG 30 saves you 30% on an annual, subscription with Panteo. So you can check out the video streaming service, all their different stuff. I'm not going to get into all the different wickets they've got. They got downloads and rentals and just, Panteo.com, go check it out. And then the other people we got to mention is Vertex, because they, kind of supplied the uniforms and stuff for the officers out at that event. So it's kind of funny how the two go hand in hand. So with Vertex, you can use code OTR, save you 20% with Vertex. Again, code OTR 20 or code OTR will save you 20% with Vertex. And yeah, man, they've got some bomber stuff. So definitely check out those things there. And as always, you can always go to warhog.com or kellydefense.com, and you can see all of our industry partner coupon codes should you forget or want to find some more. So boom. Yeah. I think I've done our public service announcement.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything, brother?
No. And, I think to start off this wrap up of 2021, which was a great year for the OTR universe, a lot of big things happened. We're going to talk about that. But wherever you are, guys, thank you for making us, again, for the last time in 2021, part of your day. Rick and I really appreciate it. All the support, the big switch to Podbean was huge, and you guys have just been killing it. We really appreciate it. So, and like Rick mentioned, a Brute Force and some of the other guys in Vertex, we're just going to go down the line. Some of the folks that have given codes and supported a lot of the events that we do and really helped out the Patreons and the OTR universe. But the first one is Combat Flip Flops. And if you go to combatflipflops.com and use the promo code OTR25. That's 25% off of all their flip-flops. You're going to be sporting those this summer. The best flip-flops out there. They also go to Outreach. They do a lot of great things. Veteran-owned company. Just a great guy. And folks out there at Combat Flip-Flops really appreciate all their support. Also, this is you can take this one, Rick. This is a great guy, great company. They give us a discount as well. Alpha Elite Performance. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, so Travis over there, he's at another Special Forces veteran-owned business, and again, super supplements, man. If you're doing anything around heavy metals, I can't stress it enough. Their heavy metal detox is absolutely the bombdiddy.com. Get all that crap out of your system, just not the lead, but all the other garbage that's in there. So, man, if you're on the range a lot or just around heavy metals, definitely go check them out. And again, you can use code OTR15 to save you 15% with Alpha Elite. Yeah, buddy.
They have those athletic greens. They have all kinds of stuff going on.
Sleep stuff. They got all kinds of stuff. A full supplement shop, man. So go check them out and see all the stuff they have to offer.
Yeah, great stuff out there. Another one that was one of our favorites. We use every day. I do. Now I have to, because of work.
Beard oil. Is
Battle Brothers Shaving Company. They have the old double blade or double edge blade with the screw on cap, the old school stuff with the badger brush, responsibly harvest brush, hair. It's unbelievable. They have the rum butter. Treat yourself, guys. Go to battlebrothershaving.com and use the promo code OTR. I think it's 15. I'll double check on that, but save yourself a boatload of cash on their products, premium shaving products. Rick's beard's never looked any better. Man, my face can't get any softer. Your lady friends are going to love it. So go check them out. And another one that is a big favorite of ours is True Classic Tees. They've provided us with a bunch of stuff, and they're just unbelievable company. TrueClassicTees.com. It's the most comfiest, softest shirt I've ever worn, t-shirt, wide variety of colors. We also got some sweatshirts from them to try out. Man, they're super soft, super warmy. Go check them out at TrueClassicTees.com. And there's a couple others we want to mention, but first, the big one, the big daddy that has been with us from the beginning, Killcliff. Go to killcliff.com and use promo code. I think they're 15. I think they're OTR 15.
OTR 15. Yep.
Yeah, and save yourself some money on some great energy and recovery drinks.
Yep.
Unbelievable stuff. Check out their Killcliff Cult Club. It's a rewards program. Go check that out. And man, they have been a big supporter of all of our law enforcement outreach and all the programs, the training programs we do. And they've just been great, providing some of the energy drinks and the recovery drinks. It's just been great. And they've been there from the beginning. So big shout out to them. They are a big supporter of us in 2021. And we're looking forward to working with all these companies. And another company I wanted to bring up, actually two more, is kind of a new one. They're not really a supporter, but we're a big fan, is Hoist. Hoist Hydration. This year is the peach mango, scrumptious. They got a lot of great flavors like the dragon fruit. But this is a hydration drink. It's not really an energy drink. It's a hydration drink. And level 4 hydration. Awesome stuff. So big shout out to them. And big shout out to Trucker Hat USA 2021, the year of the comeback for the trucker hat. We're putting it back on the map. No one's going to tell us these are stupid, and don't even ask. They're not for sale yet. But big shout out to them for providing us a couple of hats. Gave them away as Christmas presents. Huge hits. Huge.
Yeah. Hits. I got two more, buddy, just to wrap up, since we did hit the LAO thing. The guys that were Brute Force, I mean, their sandbags are absolutely phenomenal, right? And that brings the pain when we do shooting on a physical dress. The things I hear come out of some of these LEOs' mouths, it's like, good Lord, man, But exactly. But here's the beauty. Code OTR 2021 for Brute Force sandbags will save you 15%. So again, code OTR 2021 for Brute Force. And it wouldn't be a classic LEO training event if we weren't clanking some steel. And I got the boys over at Grizzly Targets, they're hanging C-Zone steel. The acoustics on that is absolutely fantastic, man. You will not find a better sounding piece of steel out on the market.
Mm-mm.
Super big supporters of what we're doing. So again, you can use code WARHOG10, save you 10% on
Nice.
Grizzly. And
Yeah.
man, galvanized, you can leave it out in the weather. You can, man, you don't have to worry about hauling it back and in and out, and just fantastic stuff. So yeah, big supporters as well. So make sure you guys check them out as well.
Yeah. The best feature that, I've never really seen is that galvanized post that they use
Oh,
instead of
dude.
using 2x4s.
Yep.
Game changer. Game
No,
changer. You're not going to be
yeah.
having your students blast your
I
2x4s, replacing them.
Dude, I haven't ever since I got those. I haven't had no need to go stop by Home Depot and get freaking wood or
Yeah.
Lowe's or nope.
Yeah.
Because you know what? The post I got, they're the post that stays. So yeah.
Yeah. Just unbelievable companies. Man,
Mhm.
we have been really lucky. All the
Yep.
stuff that these guys do for us and
Mhm.
the products that they have and their stories behind it, unbelievable. So,
Yeah.
you said it. Go to warhog.com and kellydefense.com and check out all the our partners and the promo
Mhm.
codes and check their stuff out, man. Great
Yeah.
companies.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is the last OTR of 2021.
Mhm.
And I think the biggest thing we wanted to hit on, initially was the podcast, talk about the shows.
Sure.
A lot of changes in the OTR universe.
Yep.
Did we start in 2019? It
No,
was
we
2020.
started 2020. Yeah, so it was like March or April. We forget the
Yeah.
exact month, but it was during sometime in the pandemic when everything.
Yeah.
I hate to even use that word
Oh
pandemic,
boy.
but
Yeah. Well,
let's say during the panic, right? When everything was shutting down. I think that's the best word. The panic when that was going on. Mark was actually the one that came up with the idea. It's like, hey man, what do you think about a podcast? What do I know about podcasting?
Yeah.
Nothing. And I don't know. Next thing you know, it's just, hey, let's start doing some looking and checking, and
Yeah.
boom, get the podcast up and going. What do you think about On the Range? Yeah, man, sounds good. I mean, that's kind of what we do. But then again, we preface it with, hey man, all things America. Man, I
Yeah.
say that, it's kind of, but then when you look about it, we start going globally. So it's kind of, I can't really say all things worldly, but we'll still keep
Yeah.
all things America.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got, reach all over the world. So it definitely helped, keeping the message out there, kind of let people know what we got going on. And, it goes to more, it's just not lip service when we say, hey, make yourself 1% better every day. Here we were in pretty much a global shutdown, people stuck at the house. Wasn't like communications were cut. So we're like, hey, why don't we still communicate with our audience? And yeah, man, it's been an absolute blast, but it's been learning along the way. So it wasn't like we just picked this thing up and go ahead, listen to episode 1, go listen to pre-jump and
boy.
the quality that was there, right? And what you'll see throughout this journey, it's just those incremental improvements. And
Yeah.
that's just with life, man. I mean, every single day, just 1%. We're not asking you to go 10,000%, but 1%, man.
Yeah.
You make yourself that little increment and it will pay huge dividends, each time is because the clocks the clock's going. It's not going to
Yeah.
stop. You can't hit the pause point.
No.
It's just it's gonna roll. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And the podcast, 2020, it was learning the whole time, constant learning. And then we kind of got to the point where we started really working on the content and the production value. And that's what I think 2021 really kind of rounded out for us. We were really concentrating on the production value.
Yeah, it's the refinement. So
Right.
it was, hey, we got the premise. All right, check it out. We're off because we were originally doing this thing on cell phones, right? Making calls, janky as anything. But
yeah,
you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
We swap, podcast providers. We got mics and videos and upgraded videos and lighting and studios. And I mean, I would have never thought, if you asked me the beginning of 2020 at SHOT when we were sitting there BSing, hey man, where you see yourself next year? Podcast wasn't there. I mean, there's things happen in life, and we'll kind of hit on some other big things that happened this year that you don't expect. But it's like, dude, you've got to figure out. Opportunity just kind of goes in your hand sometimes, and you've got to just grab it and run with it. So don't, don't look at that gift horse in the mouth and capitalize when you can.
Yeah. And, another thing I think, we talked about production value is pretty much just start working on the content. And that went with the advent of the Patreon club as well. But just really producing good content. And we were able to focus on it at that point because we knew how to get a podcast out there. So that was the biggest learning curve. But then once that happened and we started working on the content, getting some great guests and things like that. Yeah, it was a big year. 2021 was big for the show.
Yeah, no, huge, man. Yeah. I mean, absolutely pivotal stuff went on, and you saw it. We had kind of like these ebbs and flows, right? So, we were doing some live streaming as far with our guests and stuff like that, and then it's like, all right, let's record these things, and that way, we're not being pushed. So, let's say hypothetically, we had 3 guests back to back to back. Well, you're not kind of shooting everything at once, and stick some stuff on Patreon for early access for the patrons. So yeah, man, it's been a constant learning process. And then you ended up picking up that badass studio kind of in that back alley, with all that brick there. So I mean, keep your eyes out, I don't want you to get shanked while we're sitting there podcasting. But and if you're listening, you need to go to the video side and check out Mark's cool studio. But
we're not going to let the cat out of the bag, but we discovered a new feature that's going to help for those on Apple. So we're looking forward to that.
Game changer, man.
Game changer. Yeah. So this episode plus the preceding one, if you've already noticed it, but we're going to keep an eye on that. The second big thing, Rick, we lost our buddy, your teammate. It was a tough road. I enjoyed every moment that I was privileged enough to spend time with. Yeah. And I saw what a celebrity he was when I first met him, and how everybody, he would show up and the event would go up to an 11, man.
Oh yeah.
But it was a big hit for you, I know, and your family. And I didn't realize how lucky I was that I was able to spend that time with him. I'm just super grateful for that, because it was a part of you that I was able to experience for not long enough. But what a big impact he made on me, buddy. And I'm just glad that I was able to spend time with him, and that we were cut short. So everybody knows we're talking about Duco.
Yep.
And if you don't, there's plenty of episodes and content out there, but he's immortalized on our hats, as you can see, in our logo. He's never coming off. And just a big impact on the show and us. It was just, I was lucky to have the time that I did. And I appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah, man. And here's the thing, right? I did not realize. So for those of you that, are new or not really tracking what Duco. So he was my retired military working dog. Actually, he's a combat assault dog. But, that people, some people know that, hey, basically I'm alive because of that dog, right? And that's where that bond kind of goes. But really, it was 2020 where he had his battle with cancer, and we ended up getting that right rear leg amputated. Here's the thing. When you have a 3-legged dog motivating human beings, that was the powerful thing that I didn't realize, right? So, of course, somebody's like, yeah, get Duco an IG page. Yeah, okay. And it kind of became, how do we tell his story? How do we, hey, here's what's going on. Here's us screwing around. Here's some dog, tips and stuff like that. And then obviously the cancer came in, and people were phenomenal, requests for prayers, all that support, but then people watching him transform, from having 4 legs to 3. And you get messages, hey man, that dog motivated me. It's like, wow, blew me away.
Yeah.
But with that, here's the silver lining with that. So losing Duco the 5th of July, it wasn't shortly thereafter that somehow I got in contact with Scott's Wish, who's a 501c3 nonprofit, all volunteer. And they were like, hey, wanted to do something with, a nonprofit on the dog side. So they're kind of doing some dog stuff anyway. And it's like, yeah, what would you like to call this, I guess, this project or whatever. And we went with, hey, the In Honor of Duco project. And really it's kind of threefold. And I think that's probably about the three mission points is where we're going to sit at. First and foremost is keep Duco's memory alive. And the old saying goes, hey, you die once when you physically stop breathing, or, your body is dead. And then really you die the second time when people say your name for the last time. So this just helps keep that memory going. And again, he just had that much of an impact. And like you mentioned, Mark, he was part of me.
Yeah.
Here's really the second part in the key critical point, because I didn't want, I was lucky enough not to be financially burdened by the whole amputation chemotherapy, $10,000 bill, right? $10,000. So part two of the mission statement in Honor Duco project is this. Mission is, I don't want another SOF canine handler to ever have to make a medical decision on their partner based on their finances. Here's the thing, that's happening right now. So for those of you that don't know, MPC or multi-purpose canine, Leica is, she's a tripod as well. She lost her leg over in Afghanistan. And you know what? She's the first canine recipient, SOF canine recipient, of funds from the In Honor of Duco project. So it's this thing is rolling, and your generosity with donations and everything, it's been absolutely phenomenal. So that's pretty much that. That's the key bulk of the mission statement is really not to have another SOF canine handler make a medical decision on their canine based on their finances. And then really the last one, we kind of plugged this one in, was to help other canine organizations. And this is Rick's, cool talk, when it makes sense,
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we're going to help everybody, but hey, when it makes sense. And we've already helped out, 3 separate organizations, so the Military Working Dog Team Support Association, we helped them out with some stuff they had going on at Christmas time, to make sure they got boxes and stuff and toys and all the goodies that canines deployed all over the world. So they do a great job doing that. Our good friend Travis Hall over at Second Chance Canine, who rehabs dogs, to go to veterans to help with, PTS and everything else. So, we gave him some stuff so he can keep working that stuff. And then we gave to another vet clinic that was doing some stuff. So, we're making stuff happen. And really, this is where I'm not going to sit there and blow smoke and go, every tragedy's got a silver lining, because it doesn't. But this one just happened so. But it's still very raw. It's still very emotional. I've had people reach out, hey, man, you want a dog? I got a dog. I'm not ready, for that. I appreciate all the offers, but at some point, yeah, I'll end up getting, and I'll probably get another Dutchie. But, it was just one of those that was a big impact. But really, the bigger impact, Duco will have a bigger impact, not only for the boys that he brought back home from overseas, but his legacy continuing on and helping other, humans, canines along the way. So yeah, super excited about that one. And if you haven't seen our first gala, go check it out on the interweb somewhere. It was a phenomenal blast. Taconic Distillery helped us out with that one, along with Pat Mack, Dutch, and Jamie, all kind of signing the bottles. So if you haven't seen the Package of Freedom from Taconic, go check it out. And plus, with all that, any of that bourbon sold goes back to our our different charities. So yeah.
And not only can you see the vlog that's available now on the Patreon page, part 1 and 2, where it's behind the scenes where you were down in New Orleans.
Oh, that's
great
epic.
Piece of video, cinematic touches in there. Loved it.
Oh,
so that's on there. That's another treat about the Patreon page. You can see those vlogs. But third person in the team, Duco. So he's still doing great things.
Yeah, man.
Another thing about the podcast that I think we're going to talk about the top 3 episodes that we had this year. The big thing about the show for me has been able to the first one is highlight things like the In Honor of Duco Project and a lot of these other things like Second Chance Canine and a lot of these other companies like Killcliff and Battle Brothers Shaving Company and that kind of stuff. But talking to interesting people who may not have any of those things, unbelievable. It's been a lot of fun, and it's amazing.
Yeah. And, here's the thing. My intro that I give was directly from one of our guests. And, whether we're going to open up Pandora's box now, but I guess we will. So, Mark, who was our number one this year?
Our number one episode was, he was a guest.
Yep.
And let me go ahead and bring those up. Number one, Navy SEAL and author, Jack Carr. Number one. Yep.
Jack Carr.
He was the top. This is a who's who of guests.
But I gotta get on Jack here for a minute, right? Because his episode, number one, when I thank you, the viewer listener, for your most precious commodity, your time, that was directly from Jack, because he had made a comment about that when he's doing a post, writing his books, doing whatever, thinking of other people's time, and I never really put it in that perspective. Excuse me. So that was a direct steal from him. Closet Magnum PI fan that we never really got to circle around, but Jack's episode, was supposed to be with him releasing The Devil's Hand, his newest book. We didn't talk. I don't think we addressed the book at all, man. He wanted to talk about being on the set of The Terminal List and all that, so, and that's the beauty with the show, man. It's, do we have an agenda? Sure, get a guest on, but it's the guests, it's their show.
Yeah.
So that was just a great episode with him.
Yeah, that was a great episode. Number two, the second highest viewed, Pat McNamara.
Yep.
Pat Mac from T-Max.
Yep.
And the squad with him and JC do CJ, I'm sorry, do a great job over there on Patreon, the University of Badassery. Pat McNamara just kills it. Everybody loves him. You talk about a great guest. And he's another one. He didn't want to talk about gunslinging. He wanted to talk about birds, playing guitar.
Looking for his newest classic that I don't think he's ever found one yet. But, that's the thing, right? It's just because we're on the Range podcast doesn't mean that's all we talk about.
Oh God.
The guests want to talk about it. And it was funny because we learned some things with Pat, and this is where you press the record button early, because we started chatting beforehand, and
that's right.
Dude, we were missing the juice. It's like, dude, the record button's going, because you don't know, did we miss some stuff? Just from us BSing. Pat's super good friend, do a bunch of work with him and stuff, but super supporter and just a phenomenal dude. But the thing was, I do think probably next year we're gonna have to circle back with him, because again, Pat was a early episode guest we had, and our audio quality wasn't. We had some echoing, or we had some dramas, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll probably reach back out to Pat and just ask him to circle back on. Even if it's just a quick, short episode, just to BS or give us an update of, what the squad's got going on. And that's the beauty, man. Because when I started, reaching out to Pat and stuff like that, you're kind of like, man, another guy in the industry. We used to work together. Is he going to see a conflict? Come on over, man. There's enough work for everybody. He's just that type of guy. Super supportive. It's like we've got a lot of cross-pollination between the squad members and, our supporters. So it's just a great, it's nice when you've got, you got friends like that and just build community, man. So
great people people too.
And don't forget, on that note, right? Not to cut you off, Mark. But we also did the inside story that had myself, Pat, Dutch, and Jamie Caldwell. So we need to get Jamie on the show one of these days. So we'll wrangle him in. I think he's the one missing.
Yeah, the number 3 top highest listen of the On the Range podcast. This was a shocker, not a super shocker, but a little surprising.
Yeah.
But Dr. John Jaquish, the author and inventor, he's the bone density machine strengthener.
Yep.
And he was a great guest, and he didn't want to
Dude.
talk about it. He talked about a little business. He wanted to talk about his Lamborghinis and stuff like that he likes to drive.
Oh, yeah.
Man, he was a good guest. But number three.
Yeah. No, and that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So
Super interesting.
Oh, dude, it was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as he's got a Lambo, it's like, tell me more, man. What have you gotten this thing up to?
They were like, time out, back up. Yeah, let's talk about the Lambo.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I want to know which one you got, how fast you got this thing going,
Yeah.
I got it. You were on a track,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he was good. But that was it, man. And I think that's the biggest thing that people like is you don't know just because you get guest X, right? You could have heard him on 20,000 other podcasts. And I got it. People have certain agendas and questions and things they want to ask. Dude, let's talk. Because you never know where the conversation is going to go. And I really think we need to bring, Jack back on, number one, to talk about some Magnum PI, because I think that would be a very cool conversation.
Yeah.
Pat, just to see what he's up to, because he's always a good guy. Anybody else, I mean, it was just, we've had some great guests. So I think that's the easiest way to put it.
Yeah, we had Tim Kennedy, the rebroadcast. Now he was a rebroadcast, him and Pat. They were rebroadcasts of their original shows from 2020, and they still made the top 4.
Yeah.
So very impressive for Tim Kennedy and Pat McNamara. We also had, go ahead, bud.
Well, no, like with Tim, we talked cooking stuff, man.
Yeah, and Van Halen. Yeah.
Van Halen. We talked, I think some IG rubbish crap, anything but, I don't think we talked any gunslinging.
No, we spent a lot of the time on his new cooking show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Secret recipes,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he just left the gym. We're like, bro, you couldn't freaking bump the comb through your hair a little bit.
That's Tim. That was classic Tim.
Yeah, all freaking ripped out of his shirt and stuff like he was getting savage. Yeah.
Well, he had to get his swole on, knew he was going to be on video. So it's like,
yeah. So he did about 100 push-ups, and then took his shirt off and then got in front of the camera. Then we had Kurt Ballman, retired homicide detective, and Jimmy Hinsky.
Yep.
His second episode was this year, and that was in the top 10 as well. So just great. Mike Ritland was in the top 10.
Yep.
Just a lot of great big names, man. And they took their time, and it was well worth it because they were great shows.
Yeah. And I got to hit on Mike for a minute, right? Because here's the beauty. Again, I was a guest on his show, and he was nice enough to come back over and be a guest on our show, and he could have been like, who are you minions? Beat it out on my own. It's like, no, dude. I said, hey man, would you mind being on the show? Yep. And dude, we didn't talk guns. We didn't talk dogs. We talked about his new book. We kind of talked some politics stuff, just life, man. So yeah. Super
great
cool
stuff.
Yeah, buddy.
So we kind of hit off on the stuff that's what's going on in our world, but there's a couple of big current events we wanted to cover. I'll be glad when we're done with this commission hearing group for the Capitol insurrection. I'll be glad when that's done. Some of these guys are starting to go to jail. You would think this would be the end of some of this stuff.
Yeah. But here's the thing, the whole jail thing, I'm going to throw some caution at that one, right? And people got to be aware. Yes, they're making, if you want to say some good arrests, I think they're making some poor arrests. I forget the gentleman's name, former SF guy, never entered the building. Was he on the Capitol grounds? Yeah. I mean, at what point does it become illegal to be on the Capitol grounds? I mean, I've been to DC before, and I got it. You got some security, but I know he got scooped up, and I'm not sure if he's still being held or not, but it was one of those like, dude, you never even made entry. And so it kind of, it bothers me because it's like, focus on the people that made the breach, focus on the people that caused the whole drama there, and really be selective. I mean, you've got enough footage, you got enough video, you can skim through and go, who are the culprits we need, scoop them up and let justice be. But let that thing, tired of hearing of it, man. It's like, good Lord.
And we made it clear that we thought it was all ridiculous. It was completely, we're not supporters of that at all.
Nope.
You can't be breaking shit. I don't care whose it is, especially if it belongs to the country, but you can't do it, but I think a lot of these guys are being made examples of, and I don't know what to say.
As long as they're getting the right people, that's all I care about. Get the right people.
Yeah. They should never done it. It was freaking ridiculous. but goofballs do goofball stuff. And anyway, but we've talked about this multiple times, the defunding the police and the, that whole idea. We've done several shows on that. We've covered that.
Yeah. And we've seen how it's come. We've seen how it's come 180, brother. I mean, that's y'all run your soup coolers one half of the year, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, good Lord.
Yeah. Since we talked about London Breed in San Francisco, we got old girl up in Chicago falling in line. We'll see how that happens. I'm not buying it, but yeah, hey, multiple cities have high homicide rates this year, record breaking
out of control.
Out of control.
Yep.
Yeah. Now we've talked about this a couple of times. The entertainment industry, cable, live streams, or the streaming services like Netflix and stuff like that, absolutely killing cable. Absolutely killing cable. Pretty soon, cable is going to be gone. They're just going to be an internet provider, pretty much, I think. But at the same time, I've seen some articles, and I think it's fascinating, the whole entertainment and these services and stuff. But it's getting to the point where you have to have too many streaming services. So we'll see if something changes in that. But I hope the movie theaters don't go away. I enjoy going to the movies, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I haven't been in the movies in a while, so I'm going to tell you lies. I don't know how many of them have political, or if it makes sense to have, political injects in there, because again, what could be politically correct today is wrong tomorrow, is wrong the next week. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
But I think, on that note, like you look at the show Yellowstone, man, it's out there crushing it. Why?
Yeah.
Because there's no political plugs, man. It's about a guy in his land fighting, having all these battles, and it's just like we talked about before, entertainment. That's it. I don't need to be indoctrinated. I don't need nothing. Just watching some entertainment. So hopefully they get the word and keep it up.
Yeah, people just want to be entertained. I want to go watch some dumb entertainment sometimes, where I'm just eating popcorn and watching and being entertained. I don't want to hear anybody talking about anything other than what's going on. That's why this Spider-Man is supposed to be so successful. None of that's in there. So
well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Big thing, the big streaming services was big this year. We talked about that. Now, we also had some entertainers that were in the news. Alec Baldwin.
Yep.
We've talked about that. That's still unfolding. It's not looking good for him. Just Juicy Smollett. He got found guilty. Yeah, he was the guy that faked the hate crime up in Chicago.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So he was found guilty on all but one count.
Yep.
So that's over. Of course, he's appealing. And then Dave Chappelle, they're trying to cancel him, and he was crushing it. Netflix is making a $1 billion, so he's going to hang around. He just don't put up with it.
Yeah.
And he's polite about it, but he's just not going to put up with it. He's the best comic in the world, so good for him.
Yeah.
It is what it is. That was big this year. Another thing that was big that we've talked about multiple times was the transgender women competing as women. They're even competing in beauty pageants. Miss Universe had I think it was a person from Arizona. Yeah.
Really?
So we did a couple episodes on that, and then we did a Vantage Point on that about the transgender swimmer. We also had the transgender weightlifter who didn't do so well, but it's crazy. It's crazy.
Unbelievable. It's just, and here's the thing. Here's the part that got me was when you said you're going to let men play women's sports. Man, is that about the most sexist thing you've heard? Because here's the thing. Be a mediocre dude. Go play for the chicks team, and you'll be out there crushing them. It's like you've lost your mind, man. It's just this whole society of, everyone's equal, yada, yada. Nope. There's some lines that got to be drawn, Let the lady sports be the lady sports. Let the men's sports be the men's sports. You're going to participate in the plumbing that you were issued when God put you on this planet. That's the side that you're going on. What you opt to do with your plumbing down the road, hey, that's your choice, whatever. But boom, the plumbing that God gave you, in Rick's opinion, that you don't just remove it, right? Well, let me rephrase. Yes, you can have it removed. That doesn't remove.
Well, technically you can. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, you can technically remove your plumbing or fix your
Yeah.
plumbing or
Yeah.
whatever. But
Yeah.
whatever you were at birth, boom. That's got to be the line you roll.
Yeah.
So if you opt to sit there and go, well, I was a man, now I'm a nope.
Yeah. Well,
I
not
don't
on the
think.
playing field, you're not,
Well, that's what I'm saying. You want to
Yeah.
go, play on the, whatever team, you go to the sex that you were. That's Rick's opinion. So,
Yeah.
yep.
Well, like I said, the IOC and the NCAA and those guys, they just don't care about the women who
No,
are competing as women. They just don't care about them because
nope.
it falls into a category that they're okay with, and it's hurting the true athletes that have been working their whole
Yeah.
lives to just get thrown under the bus. It's sad. NCAA and IOC, they ought to be ashamed of themselves.
100%.
Really. Yeah. But yeah, so cancel culture, I think, is somewhat dying, but every now and then it rears its other head. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But the cancel culture thing, that's fun. We enjoy that. Britney Spears was freed this year. That's big.
Huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it always boggled my mind, that whole situation, that she had signed her rights away to her parents. And how does that even happen?
I know.
I mean, I don't. I mean, check it out. She'd been over 18 for a couple days.
A long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but if you sign something as a minor, to sit there to give your parents control, to go, you can't have a baby or you can't do this. I mean, it's not like she can't afford it. I mean,
Yeah.
But they controlled every aspect of her life. So I take a step back and I go, we live in the greatest country in the world, where our number one most prized possession, besides having the title of American, is the freedom that we have. And how in the world, and I don't know how that whole transpired, but how in the world do you sign your freedoms away?
I don't know.
just,
Something had to have happened. I mean, that was astronomically bad, that someone thought that she has not the ability to take care of herself. And I mean, how old is she? 40 something?
something like that. Yeah.
I don't know how she old, but she's been around a lot. Like you said, she's been over 18 a long time. It's brutal.
Exactly. And to the best of my knowledge, she didn't have any mental issues that would require her, but even it just saying, to my knowledge, right? Not saying she didn't have drama. Dude, we all got dramas in our life.
Yeah, she had that one incident where she disappeared and shaved her head. Remember that? And
well, yeah, but everyone, cool. It's no different
freaks out every now and then.
Everyone does silly stuff, right? But my point being is, think about this. Even if you get institutionalized or something, you're under that institution's control to a point. Once you're rehabilitated or whatever, then you're released, to go about your business. How is it that this girl's parents, and I'll call her a girl for this aspect, because literally that her parents had that much control for that many years? Mind-boggling.
It's funny. I mean, they sexualized this girl at the age of 14.
Mm-hmm.
And then they didn't think that was going to screw her up. So then when it did screw up, then they take charge of all of her stuff and treat her as a kid for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's got a horrible feel to it. Not sure what happened on the back end of that, because something had to have happened for a judge to okay that. But man, that went on a long time. Long time. Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
So yeah, I mean, the Oscars and all those awards, those made up awards that these elitists, put on for themselves, those things are dead. Nobody watches them anymore. Nope. No one cares. It's all a bunch of freaking nonsense talking about how great we are and how bad everybody else is except for them.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here, man. Yeah, they're over. No one watches them. ESPN's in a total disarray this year. That reared its ugly head. Speaking of sports, we've talked about a lot of things, but this one is fascinating to me. It started a little bit last year, where these brothers, Logan and Jake Paul, kind of came on the scene and were doing these celebrity boxing matches. Well, this year, Jake Paul killed boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Boxing's done. Nobody cares. It was already struggling, but nobody cares. When they got rid, I remember when I was a kid, you could go on USA Network and have Thursday night fights. live fights every Thursday. Those days are gone. There's no rank structure. These guys aren't fighting. They're only doing the major fights. I mean, these two heavyweights have been fighting. What is this? Are we on the 4th fight? I mean, they just do these super it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So Jake Paul, good for him, man. He put together that Triller event, and they just been going with it, and they've been killing it, you know, raising unbelievable amounts of money and just destroying boxing. Nobody cares anymore.
Yeah.
So it's unbelievable. The Bachelor's dead. Nobody watches that anymore. They got rid of Chris Harrison.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you, thanks, brother, because you enlightened me on that one. And, you know, I needed a moment. You know, I was deeply crushed to find that out. I was like, oh, my God.
That was a long-running show, man. Long-running. And then old girl gets on there, ends up having a relationship. They find out that they were talking before the show even started, how they hooked up. Then they brought in another girl. Then they fired Chris Harrison. It's a nightmare. Now they got all these other people. It's over. They're changing their time slots for sporting events when The Bachelor was the thing, but it's dead. Dead. Nobody cares.
Here's a problem, man. Right? It's the whole entertainment industry, right? And this whole reality TV and all these other dramas of people and everything else. Who cares, man? You know, but so many people get wrapped up around the axle on other people's life. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. Don't care. Live your life. You know, don't worry about, you know, what these other jokers are doing. Don't worry about the fakeness you see. Don't worry about what you see on the interwebs, you know, because dude, it's all manipulated. Live your life the best way you can live it. Make the most for what you do. Here's the bottom line. If I didn't have a business, I wouldn't be on there. I would give a crap about social marketing. I honestly would. Who cares? You know? I mean, the people that want to know about my life, they'll know because I'll pick up the phone and make a phone call. Hey, Mark, check it out, buddy.
Yeah.
You know? I got me a new, you know, gerbil. Whatever. Who cares? You know? But here's the thing. You want to take all those reality rubbish junk off, you know, let it go.
They're dying. They're dying too.
Yeah.
So, and then along with the 2021, the civilian space race really heated up.
Dude,
it was amazing. Now we got the Bezos and the Branson and Elon Musk. You know, I think the SpaceX is the one I think is really contributing to furthering space travel. These other guys, they're just taking little trips up into the high atmosphere.
It's an experience, right? Cool.
Sure.
Launch up in a rocket, go up. You know, I don't know what the price tag is, you know, for one of these thriller rides. But again, if you've got the money to burn, you want to go up there and feel weightless for a little bit. Hooty hoo, and
knock yourself out. You know,
William Shatner made a joyride up there.
Yeah, Captain Kirk went up there for
That's
real,
it, man. For reals.
Was he 92?
Dude, he's up there, man. Yeah,
he looks good.
Yeah,
looks good for 92.
Little bit of weight, you know, but yeah, he's doing good. Got the little beer belly going on.
Yeah. One of the last ones I wanted to talk about. These guys kept us going all year long. They're the gift that keeps on giving the whole year, and that's the Cuomo brothers.
Oh
man. We could dedicate one of our shows just to them all the time, every week. Unbelievable.
Here was the thing, right? Just when you thought the saga was over, or at least I guess Rick and, you know, all right, cool. You know, one brother leaves. The next thing you know, the other brother's head's sitting there getting chopped off because next thing you know, you find out your dirty dealings. And it's like, come on, man. Really? I mean, there comes a certain point that you already had a conflict of interest, even doing stuff with your brother. That number one, I don't know why CNN didn't interject earlier to go, hey, dude, pull your head out your ass and sit there and keep your distance. If somebody's going to interview your brother, let it be somebody else. But nope, they let it go about their business. And then, what winds up happening? Oh, you're using your title, you know, as a journalist to figure out dirt on these people that's accusing your brother. Come on, man. Really?
Illegal, probably not, but unethical, absolutely. It was unethical from the get-go.
Yeah.
You know?
There should have been, you know, CNN should have jumped in and go, no. You two are not gonna, you know, it as far as here on our show, you're not gonna interview, you're not gonna do this. Just it doesn't concern you. What you guys talk about at the house, hey, that's your business. We can't stop that. But
Yeah, Chris had the only show that had any kind of numbers whatsoever, but they weren't very good.
Nope.
And Andrew got in trouble. He can't keep his hands himself, and Chris tried to step in and got pinched, and he's gone too. Now he's suing for what, 18 million?
Bah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. But
whatever.
None of that's surprising. We'll see what happens. I tell you what, those guys are savages, man. They were all over those guys. It was like blood in the water. Those guys, the rest of the guys at CNN trying to get that time slot.
About time, man.
Yeah, man.
Let them be some savages for a minute. It's like,
probably
about the only thing real they were reporting on is who's fighting over whatever time slot.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, just swill coming out of that place.
Yeah. But it was an interesting year. It was a good year for Kelly Defense and for War HOGG Tactical. A lot of training we were able to push out there to mill guys and LEOs, and man, just it was a pleasure, buddy, doing with those events. We're going to do a lot more, and
dude,
the show's just ramping up.
Yeah, 2022 is going to be an epic year, man, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I apologize to the viewers, listeners out there. I have not provided my 2022 calendar yet. Part being on trying to do some deconflicting, and again, not making excuses, just letting you guys know the deal. Some different ranges we use around the country, some dramas going on, trying to figure out, hey, are we good? Are we bad? Are they allowing instructors, not allowing instructors? I will tell you this. Bottom line, Griffin Group out in Maxton, North Carolina, that's going to be a staple location without a doubt. They have a phenomenal training facility out there. For those of you that caught it, on the IG, I ended up doing a live out there just because that place will be a staple without a doubt. So you will probably see some class stuff going on end of January. We're going to do some LEO. I can speak LEO only, just because those classes are going to be reserved for those guys. We'll do open enrollment stuff as well. And, we're going to basically burn that place down. Going to kind of let some other places let the dust settle, I guess, for lack of better terms, figure out if we're still able to train at those other locations. And when we start figuring that stuff out, we'll go. And if not, we'll just keep plugging along out at Maxton. So, if you guys don't know where it is, figure it out on the map. It's not that far from the Fort Bragg area. And yeah, dude, come on out and look forward to training with you guys.
Yeah. But the big thing for the show, besides all the great guests and just the production value going up and Podbean, which are all big things, the Patreon page is big. The advent of that was awesome. And then on top of that, we had the War HOGG Words of Wisdom and the OTR Vantage Point, just quadrupling our content. I mean, in many cases, but it's been a good year, and really looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, dude. I am super stoked. Yeah. We've already got some great guests in the hopper, man. And I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. Yeah, it's going to be a great year, because here's the beauty. We can do shows like this where we can just, kind of chat with those always do well. We've got some just fantastic guests already lined up. Some people you probably never expect, but you know what? That's the way the freaking OTR rolls, man.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. And we have one event that we've got postponed twice now. So this is 3 years in the making. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag on that, because I don't want to wish that one away. I don't want to jinx us, but that's going to be a big one. We'll be on location for that one. I will find a spot, and that's going to be a great pre-show. I don't think we'll be in any condition afterwards to do a post-show.
Probably not.
Probably not. But yeah, looking forward to that. That's going to be a barn burner. So probably won't do afterwards, but definitely before. But it's been great, buddy. It's been a lot of fun. All the interaction that we've had with the public and the listeners, that we're just so grateful to be able to do this, is just, and then have people actually listen all around the world,
all around
almost all the states except for South Dakota, and your boy out in Hawaii, man.
Blood, Aloha State, come on.
South Dakota, man, that's a tough cookie to crack, man.
Yeah, come on, you guys that busy? Out there.
They must be.
I don't know, man.
Well, they're free. There's a lot of freedom going on up there. Old girl, isn't that where Christy Gnome's from? Isn't she South Dakota or is she North Dakota? Anyway,
one of the. Yeah, I tell you lies. I'm not sure.
We're gonna have to get her on the show and see if she can't help us out and straighten that out.
Yeah.
So
no, it's gonna. Yeah,
anyway.
we got some great guests coming up, and it's gonna be good. So
yeah. So kellydefense.com, warhog.com, patreon.com/on the range podcast. Go check them out, guys. Support the show. A lot of stuff. Rick's got a training video is going to pop up here in the next few days. You're going to want to catch that. So Rick, again, Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy New Year to you, buddy.
It's been a pleasure.
Everybody,
Happy
listening.
New Year.
Yep. Happy New Year, guys. Crush it, man. Look forward to seeing you on the range.
Thanks, guys.